Hello students, welcome you all in the world of homeopathic pharmacy. My name is Dr. Bhakti Kisti. Today I am going to explain you about the scope of homeopathic pharmacy in relation to the materia medica, national economy and organon of medicine. I know it is very easy to write about the scope of homeopathic pharmacy in relation to the materia medica. But when students start writing about national economy and organon of medicine, the students are absolutely blank. They don't know what to write, how to write, which points are included, what is the exact role of national economy, and what is the exact role of organon in the scope of homeopathic pharmacy. Okay, so in this lecture I am trying to explain in very simple word about the in very simple words I am going to explain you about the national economy and organon of medicine. Okay, so let's start the lecture. Scope of homeopathic pharmacy in relation to materia medica. There are so many points which are included in here. First one is sources of drugs, then mode of collection of various drug substances and their method of preservation. Next is knowledge of preparation, scale and preservation. Next is potentization, then knowledge of prescription and serving them, the posology or doctrine of doses, and last one is drug proving. See student, first point is sources of drugs. Now you have to explain all these point in 2 to 3 sentences only. Don't write so long explanation for all these points. Sources of drugs, you all know that we are having sources, different kind of sources: vegetable kingdom, animal kingdom, mineral kingdom, nosode, sarcode, imponderabilia. All these are sources. First you have to write that the medicine which is prepared from the vegetable kingdom, considering some exceptions, are short acting in their nature, so we can use these medicine for acute diseases. The medicine which we prepare from mineral kingdom, animal kingdom, nosodes are deep acting in nature, so we can use this medicine to treat the chronic diseases. Okay, then one by one write about each source, that vegetable kingdom, animal kingdom, mineral kingdom. Try to write at least one example. Okay, in case of vegetable kingdom you have to write the example of Nux vomica ignatia. The drug Nux vomica ignatia, both are from same family, that is Loganaceae, but still they are inimical to each other. The next one is example is belladonna and dulcamara. See, belladonna and dulcamara are also from same family Solanaceae, but still they don't follow each other. Okay, like that, if the in vegetable sources from vegetable sources, write at least 1 to 2 example and few sentences. Okay, next one is for the from animal kingdom. Or venoms or are from the same family. Okay, but still they are not following each other. Okay, then next one is the mineral kingdom. All the halogen, then carbon, then iodine, bromine, all are from same family, but still they doesn't follow each other. Okay, some medicines from the mineral kingdom are very harmful in their small potency, if you are prescribing in small potency, but they are very effective if you prescribe them in higher potency. Okay, sometime it is some practitioners do that, they start the treatment by prescribing the medicine from the vegetable kingdom, and then the succeeding potency they prescribe from the mineral kingdom also. Okay, this is about the sources of drug. Next one is mode of collection of various drug substances. See, you know that every medicinal any plant does not possess the same power for whole year. Okay, in specific season, in specific time, in specific period they contain the highest medicinal properties. In that you have to collect that drug substance in that period. Okay, some medicines, some plants are they in their blooming season. Okay, in their when the leaves are shades, there are different periods for different vegetable. So you have to collect the medicine only at that time when they possess the highest medicinal quality, highest medicinal power in them. Okay, so example is rustox. Okay, we can collect the rustox in the rainy season, in damp weather, in the evening time, because in that season they possess the higher medicinal quality in that. Okay, like this you have to explain it. Next one is knowledge of preparation, scale and preservation. See, knowledge of preparations. Knowledge of preparations means being a physician you have to know how to prepare the medicine. Okay, how to prepare a medicine, a genuine medicine you have to prepare. Okay, so the preparation of medicine. Then scales, you know there is centesimal scale, decimal scale, a 50 millisimal scale. We prepare the medicine from the crude drug substance. Okay, but we prepare by using a definite formula. There are some specific formula to prepare each and every potency. Being a physician you have to know about each and every formula for each and every scale. Okay, you know everything about centesimal, decimal, 50 millisimal scale. Okay, next one is preservation. See, the method of preservation of crude drug substance potentized medicines are different. You have to know how to preserve the medicine properly so it can maintain its medicinal power. Okay, how to preserve the medicine. Preservation is very important. Next one is potentization. See, now what is potentization? See, potentization is nothing but a process. Okay, it is process to extract the power from the crude drug substance. You know about this. Okay, so in potentization, by using the process of potentization we extract the power, medicinal power from the crude drug substances. Any person can be sick in three planes. Okay, that is mental, physical, social. Okay, so while you are giving a potentized medicine, a properly potentized medicine, it can reach to that plane to cure the patient. Okay, so you must have to know about the potentization. Next one is knowledge of prescription and serving them. See, you know about the prescription writing. There are so many norms, forms. You know the different parts of prescription. You have to know everything about that. Okay, then every medicine should not be, we cannot prepare every medicine in the sugar of milk, in the dilute alcohol also. For trituration we have to use the sugar of milk only. We cannot dispense the every medicine in globules. Okay, you have to know each and everything related to the prescription writing. Next one is the posology or doctrine of doses. See, it is the most important part in homeopathic pharmacy. If you select a correct medicine, exact minimum, but if you are giving in the wrong potency, it does not cure the patient and you cannot avoid the unwanted aggravation also. Okay, you have to know about the doses. Okay, how to prepare dose, how to prescribe dose, when you have to repeat the dose. Okay, each and everything to related the dose you must have to know. Okay, when you are prescribing your dose, what precaution should be taken, when you have to repeat the dose, what are the obstacles, everything you have to know about the posology. Being a physician you are very keen about your potency and your dose. Next one is the drug proving. See, drug proving is the process when you prescribe the medicine to the healthy person and you observe its action. Okay, what is the changes in that healthy human being after taking your medicine. Okay, so drug proving is used it is useful to just enhance your knowledge of the materia medica. To increase the knowledge of materia medica, the drug proving is very important. You have to know about each and every symptom, each and every action about that medicine which you are prescribing to the patient. Okay, so only that way you can able to observe the patient, you can able to cure the patient. Okay, so all these points are related to the scope of homeopathic pharmacy in relation to the materia medica. Okay, just write in 3 to 4 sentences. Please don't write so many paragraphs, it will just consume your time. Okay, now the next is about national economy. See, there are some sources. Scope of homeopathic pharmacy in relation to the national economy. See students, the national economy. Okay, the students feel very difficult to write about the national economy. बच्चों को ये पता नहीं चलता है, मतलब वो उसको अच्छे से याद ही नहीं कर पाते हैं कि नेशनल इकोनॉमी में क्या लिखना है. नेक्स्ट थिंग, नेशनल वेल्थ, पर कैपिटल इनकम, जीएनपी, एनजीपी, ये सब जो वर्ड्स है ये क्या है, कहाँ पर लिखने हैं, ये स्टूडेंट्स को पता नहीं होता है. स्टेप बाय स्टेप मैं आपको बताऊंगी. ठीक है, पहली चीज़, द नेशनल वेल्थ एंड पर कैपिटल इनकम ऑफ पीपल क्या है. सी, नेशनल वेल्थ जो है वो हमारे देश को जो नेचर से मिली हुई प्रॉपर्टी है वो है. ठीक है, इसमें आप ले लो, पेट्रोलियम है, कोयला है, गोल्ड है, ऑल दीज आर नेशनल वेल्थ. ओके, नेक्स्ट थिंग इज पर कैपिटल इनकम ऑफ पीपल. सी, पर कैपिटल इनकम ऑफ पीपल मीन्स एक स्पेसिफिक कंट्री है जहाँ पर जो लोग रहते हैं वो एक साल में कितना पैसा कमाते हैं, वो हो जाता है पर कैपिटल इनकम ऑफ पीपल उस कंट्री के लिए. ठीक है, कि एक कंट्री में इतने इतने लोग रहते हैं, इतने लोग जो हैं वो एक साल में कितना पैसा कमाते हैं. ठीक है, फिर उसमें भी क्लासिफिकेशंस होते हैं कि कौन से लोग हैं जो कम पैसे कमाते हैं, कौन से ज़्यादा है, किसका इनकम कितना है. ठीक है, लेकिन एक साल में एक कंट्री है जिसमें रहने वाले लोग जितना पैसा कमाते हैं उसे कहते हैं पर कैपिटल इनकम ऑफ पीपल. ओके, देन नेक्स्ट वन इसमें है पॉपुलेशन प्रॉब्लम, कि इंडिया में पॉपुलेशन प्रॉब्लम क्यों है. सी स्टूडेंट्स, एक इंडिया में जो है, इंडिया इज़ द सेकंड मोस्ट पॉपुलेशन कंट्री ओके इन द वर्ल्ड. इंडिया में प्रॉब्लम ऐसा है कि बिकॉज ऑफ द एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी, ठीक है, बहुत सारे एंटीबायोटिक मेडिसिन मार्केट में आ गए हैं. इस वजह से जो है जो डेथ रेट है वो कम हो गया है, बर्थ रेट जो है वो बढ़ गया है. ठीक है, पहले जो है कोई एक बीमारी आती थी, बहुत सारे लोग उसमें मर जाते थे, डेथ रेट जो था वो ज़्यादा था. लेकिन अभी वैसा नहीं है, बहुत सारे मेडिसिन एंटीबायोटिक है, इसकी वजह से जो है डेथ रेट कम हो गया है, बर्थ रेट इंक्रीज़ हो गया है. इसकी वजह से जो एक प्रॉपर स्टैंडर्ड है, लिविंग स्टैंडर्ड, उसमें हम लिविंग स्टैंडर्ड जो है लोगों का वो हम एक तरीके से मेंटेन नहीं कर पाते हैं. ओके, सो ये हमारा एक्चुअल प्रॉब्लम है. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट थिंग है इस यहाँ पर कि हमारे जो देश है वहाँ का जो इकोनॉमिकल स्टेटस है वो डिस्टर्ब है. वो क्यों डिस्टर्ब है? ठीक है, अभी इसमें 3 अलग अलग फैक्टर्स यहाँ पर दिए हुए हैं. सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर है, देन नेक्स्ट है इन्फ्लक्स ऑफ रिफ्यूजी फ्रॉम ईस्टर्न वेस्टर्न कंट्री, और थर्ड वन जो है कि लैक ऑफ इंटीग्रेटेड अटेम्प्ट टू एक्सप्लोर द नेचुरल वेल्थ एडिक्वेटली, ऐसा भी है. ठीक है, इस पॉइंट का मतलब ये है कि हमारे देश में नेचुरली जो संपत्ति मीन्स जो प्रॉपर्टी है उसको खोजने के लिए अभी तक एक्टिवली कोशिश ही नहीं की गई है. जैसे कि गोल्ड है, पेट्रोलियम है, कोल है. अगर हमारा देश थोड़ा सा एफर्ट्स ले इनको खोजने के लिए, और हमारे कंट्री में अगर ये बहुत सारे क्वांटिटी में मिलता है, अच्छी क्वांटिटी में अगर हम उसे ढूंढते हैं, तो हमारे देश की जो इकोनॉमिकल कंडीशन है वो जो है अच्छी होने के लिए हेल्प हो सकती है. ओके, लेकिन यहाँ पर मैं आप लोगों को बताऊँगी कि आप लोगों को जो लैंग्वेज है वो प्रॉपर फार्मेसी लैंग्वेज ही आपको मेंटेन करना है. प्लीज़ वहाँ पर एग्ज़ाम में ऐसा मत लिखिए कि वी आर अनएबल टू सर्च द गोल्ड एंड कोल. please don't write such kind of sentence. I am just explaining you, but you have to write in specific pharmacy language only. ओके हाँ. सो अभी इसका इफ़ेक्ट क्या है, हमारी जो इकोनॉमिकल स्टेटस है वो अनस्टेबल है. इसकी वजह से जो है प्रॉपर जो जितना अमाउंट में पैसा हम लोगों को चाहिए हमारे पास नहीं है. तो हम लोग जो है बहुत एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे कंट्री में नहीं ला सकते. अभी एडवांस चीज़ें हमारे देश में हम जल्दी से नहीं ला सकते हैं. इसीलिए क्या होता है कि हम मैक्सिमम चीज़ों के लिए मैन पावर के ऊपर डिपेंड होते हैं. ठीक है. देन नेक्स्ट द जीएनपी और वो सब जो है जीएनपी जो ग्रॉस नेशनल प्रोडक्ट वगैरह जो है वो मैं स्टेप बाय स्टेप आपको जो है एक्सप्लेन करूँगी. ठीक है. लेकिन एक आपको यहाँ तक जो है मैंने क्लियर कर दिया है कि नेशनल इकोनॉमी मतलब एग्जैक्टली है क्या. ठीक है. सो देन national economy is specially related to two factors: national wealth, per capita income of people. India as a developing country suffers from population problem. The current population of India as in 2011 is 1.21 billion. So India suffers from the population problem. The population of India is greater than the capability of maintaining them at a reasonable standard of living. Means we are unable to maintain a good living standard. Okay. There has been no uniform measure of poverty in India. Poverty का मतलब होता है गरीबी. Okay. In India our national economy is unstable since independence because of the inflict created by the different catastrophes like first one is the last great war, second one influx of refugee from eastern and western neighboring zone of country, and third one is lack of integrated attempt to explore the natural wealth adequately. Okay. Then because of all the three reasons we are the national economy was absolutely disturbed. It is unstable, so we have to depend on the manpower including technical personnel and the national resource. The next thing is about the GNP. See student, GNP it is a gross national product. The primary and essential of all governments is to provide the minimum health coverage to the people by arranging to prevent the disease and to supply all requirements to cure the disease. हर कंट्री में सबसे पहला जो एम होता है वो यही होता है कि जो लोग हैं उनको कुछ मटेरियल प्रोवाइड करना है जो डिसीज़ से उनको प्रिवेंट करे या फिर डिसीज़ में उन्हें क्योर करने के लिए जो है वो मदद करे, हेल्प करे. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट वन इज in India it spent 5% of GNP on health care, whereas in other developing country they spend 9 to 10% of GNP on health care, but India spends only 5%. Okay. From that 5%, India spent around 85% of its total health budget on allopathic system, 12% on homeopathic system, and 3% on other system of medicine. Now about the homeopathy. Now what is the exact role of homeopathy? In homeopathy, with the least expenditure it requires, the medicine can be served to the patient. बहुत कम जो मटेरियल है उसमें हम लोग जो है मेडिसिन्स बना सकते हैं, हम लोग मेडिसिन जो है वो प्रिस्क्राइब कर सकते हैं. नॉट ओनली द चीपनेस बट इफिकेसी हैज़ ऑल्सो बीन एस्टैब्लिश क्लिनिकली. होम्योपैथी के मेडिसिन्स जो है सिर्फ सस्ते ही नहीं हैं, क्लिनिकली भी जो है वो इफ़ेक्टिव है और ये हमने एक्चुअली प्रूव कर दिया है. प्रिपरेशन ऑफ मेडिसिन इज़ ऑल्सो वेरी ईजी एंड सिंपल. If indigenous sources, material, unexplored talent be properly utilized, homeopathy shall never be burden to our economy. Means, see the homeopathic medicines, to prepare the homeopathic medicines, it does not require so many equipments, so many big machines. Okay, the way is very simple. It is easy to prepare, easy to dispense, and the everything which is required to prepare the medicine, the money is also not money is also required in very small quantity. Okay, so actually if we use the indigenous sources, materials and unexplored talent, we can also support our economy, and it shall be never be burden to our economy. Okay, this is about the scope of homeopathic pharmacy in relation to the national economy. Now next one is scope of homeopathic pharmacy in relation to the organon of medicine. सी स्टूडेंट्स, ऑर्गेनोन ऑफ मेडिसिन के बारे में लिखना बहुत इजी है, लेकिन आप लोगों को जो है एग्जैक्ट नंबर पता होना चाहिए एफोरिज्म का, और उस एफोरिज्म में क्या दिया है ये आप लोगों को एग्जैक्टली पता होना चाहिए. ओके, इफ़ यू आर राइटिंग अ रॉन्ग एफोरिज्म नंबर, यू आर राइटिंग the wrong explanation what is given in that aphorism number, it is really not at all useful for you in exam point of view. Okay, you have to know the exact number and what is exact number of aphorism and what is given in that aphorism. Okay, and it is very hard to remember all these things in one reading. Okay, you please go through your books, please go through the lectures 2 to 3 times so you can able to recollect everything related to that topic. सिर्फ एक बार पढ़ने से, एक बार ही देखने से आप लोगों को ये सारे एफोरिज्म्स, उनमें क्या एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया है ये याद नहीं रहेगा. ओके, इसको बार बार पढ़ना पड़ेगा तो आप लोगों को ये एग्जैक्टली याद रहेगा. ठीक है, नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी अबाउट द एफोरिज्म्स वन बाय वन. First is physician's responsibility. The physician has to be fully satisfied that his patient is getting genuine medicine that he prescribed. See, in the first aphorism, that is aphorism number 264, genuine unimpaired medicine should be given to the patient. Okay, the physician's responsibility is to prescribe the genuine unimpaired medicine. It is given in that. Okay, second one is aphorism number 265, employment of correct medicine. Hahnemann advised the physician to be thoroughly convinced in every case that the patient always takes the right medicine. You have to prescribe the correct medicine, the right medicine to the patient. Then aphorism number 266, medicine, vegetable and animal kingdom are more potent in crude state. The medicinal substances belonging to the vegetable and animal kingdom possess their medicinal properties during their raw state. Next one is aphorism number 267 and aphorism number 268. The preparation of medicines from the vegetable substances. See students, the procedure is given how to prepare the medicine from the exotic substance in aphorism number 268, and in aphorism number 267, medicine, how to prepare the medicine from the indigenous plant, that is from the native plants. Okay, you go through the book, the procedure is given step by step, it is very easy to remember. Next is medicine prepared from plant that are deficient in juice. It is given in aphorism number 267. The next one is aphorism number 269, and that is dynamization of drugs. Development of medicinal power. See, dynamization is nothing but a process to develop the medicinal power. Okay, the homeopathic system of medicine develops spirit-like medicinal powers of crude drug substances to unparalleled degree by the process which has never been attempted before, and which causes medicines to penetrate the body and thus to become more efficacious and remedial. See, the next is aphorism number 270 and aphorism number 271. Method of dynamization in centesimal scale. How to perform the process of dynamization in case of the centesimal scale. The procedure is given. See, 2 drop of fresh vegetable juice is mixed with equal part of alcohol, then dilute with 98 drops of alcohol and potendize by 2 suction. Like this they give the procedure of in this aphorism. Next one is aphorism number 272, administration of single remedy. In no case it is required to administer more than one single simple medicinal substance at one time. Okay, administration of a single remedy, administration of only one remedy at a time, it is given in aphorism number 272. So this is all about the scope of homeopathic pharmacy in relation to the organon of medicine. Aphorism number 264, aphorism number 265, aphorism number 266, aphorism number 267 and 268, aphorism number 269, aphorism number 270, 271, and last one is aphorism number 272. This is all about this topic. So this is all about this topic. I hope you like this video. Thank you very much.